The start of the year, you're supposed to make these resolutions of all the great aspirations you have for the year. And for me, getting off the sofa is the biggest goal I have so far. That's not quite correct because I have goals, aspirational goals, but in terms of something that I can see myself actually working for today, something I'm going to get up and do, get off the sofa, that one I can do, but doesn't go too far beyond that. Between the physical weakness, the pains, the aches all the time, the lack of energy to do anything, the feeling that I had, the last time I remember feeling like this was when I was having chemo on my worst days, 3-4 days after having the chemo infusion. Oh, it was so bad and I could not get off the sofa. Then I really couldn't even get off the sofa. But it feels like I've been thrown all the way back to that when I thought I had made so much progress. And chemo is for a certain period of time and you get past it. Radiation's for a certain period of time, you get past it. But this Lupron goes on and it wears you down a little bit at a time so that you don't even realize it's happening until you slip once, like I feel happened over the holidays. And now I can't believe how far down I've fallen. It probably didn't help that a few days ago I was trying to sort through some old papers and I found back before all the cancer stuff happened the previous year, well actually late 2018, early 2019, I was having heart issues that got pretty serious, and that's actually when I made the change to my diet and was able to improve things without having to have stents put in. But I don't know, I guess I've compartmentalized all that and tucked it all away. And so going through it, deciding what stuff to keep, what to get rid of, I basically relived that year and the emergency room visits and the doctor who told me I had to go into the cath lab and see about the stents, and trying to find another doctor who would let me try to improve things with the health, the diet and lifestyle, and somebody who gave me a month to improve things, and if I didn't, then he said, well, we will have to go in and see about stents and so forth. Anyway, I basically relived that, maybe had a little PTSD about it because I could feel, my heart rate going up and some of the adrenaline and panic of it all coming back to me, like, oh, am I really past that? Did I really get past that point, or is it going to happen again? So that probably didn't help for my mindset this week. Also, as nice as it was visiting with my father in Seattle, he's in a group family home, which is sort of an alternative to a nursing home when you can't take care of yourself anymore. He needs the help of a couple people to be able to get in and out of bed, and he can get his wheelchair around during the day, but to get onto a toilet, to get into a seat in the shower to wash, needs a lot of help with those things. It was last spring after he got COVID in January, and it got so bad for him that then he had to move from an assisted living facility into this group family home. Anyhow, going up and visiting him was great, but since the start of the year, talking to him on the phone, like when we've been back here, he's thinking about his life as it is now, and talking about how he never planned to live this long, and he obviously doesn't have a lot of satisfaction with his life as it is now, and how his body betrayed him by keeping him going this long. And there's obviously psychological issues in all that too. He's since he's moved into the group family home, he's lost interest in reading and different things. He doesn't want to have a smartphone or a computer. That, even this last trip up there, my kids, again, we brought a tablet. Look how easy it is. You can do these things. You can, read all the news whenever you want and communicate with people. We could send you pictures and that, but he's not doing it. Now he's 84. He's earned the right to live how he wants, and you make those decisions for himself. But it's still hard. I guess it has an effect on me talking to him and knowing his unhappiness about that and not being able to find a way to bring him out of that. He fell, in 2019, fell and broke his hip, and that's when he could no longer stay in his own place and had to go into assisted living. And with a lot of older people who fall and break their hips, I think it's like 75% of them don't last another year. Once that happens and it reduces their mobility and they can't go back to living life as they were, a lot of people can't make that transition. And my brother and I, we worked really hard to get him through that. And how can you do anything but, do the best you can to help someone survive, but we find we can't go in now and like give him a purpose in his life. We try to offer up different things, but the person has to be willing to accept that and to have the mindset where they want to be forward thinking and productive rather than just closing down and making their world just a tiny little unpleasant place to be. So you would say, well, he should have counseling. I agree. I'm not going to do that. You might even say, I should have counseling. And no, I can certainly see why I should. It's just, I can't imagine being comfortable talking to a stranger about innermost personal things. It's just a kind of thing. Now, I know the feeling about all of that has changed. In my generation, you don't want to show any weakness, and if people knew you were seeing a therapist, it would reflect badly on you. You might be embarrassed about that, and that's not the case anymore. My kids have told me as well, maybe you would do well not just dealing with stuff with my father, but with the cancer diagnosis and just things in general, that you would benefit from seeing someone. And as much as I'm frustrated with my father's lack of willingness to, look for some purpose and things to do, I suppose I need to be frustrated with myself for saying, I don't want to do that. And it's kind of funny with the younger generation accepting that and, being much more, I don't know if tolerant is the word, but just aware that mental health issues happen to lots of people. And some people, it's more of a chronic condition, and some people it's just now and then they need to help with that. And it's not something to be embarrassed about any more than having a physical condition. So in my day, since I'm almost 60, I think I get to say that. In my day, I'd be judged negatively and have peer pressure on me if I were thinking of seeing a therapist. Now with my kids, I'm being judged for not going and doing that thing. It's like I can't win. One thing my father does, though, after he goes through his sort of rants of complaining about things and feeling sorry for himself, is he'll say, well, I really can't complain. So, of course, he just got done complaining, is that I can't complain. There's a lot of people worse off than I am. At least I'm in a place where I can get the care that I need, and I'm treated well here and have the things that I need. I would disagree with that. I think he needs more things to bring him out of that enclosed little capsule he's put himself into, but he feels like he has what he needs. And I have to say the same thing. It could be worse. Here I am. I can still do this. Things still work. I'm still fighting cancer, so I do need to focus on that. Though I'm reminded, as every so often I am, when I first got my cancer diagnosis with the cancer treatments, that if the cancer doesn't get you, sometimes it's the cancer treatments that do. And I'm feeling that now, but I'm not going to be beat by that. I'm going to dig down and find something in there to grab onto and pull myself back up. If it's not gumption, let me look in my thesaurus here and see. Surely there's another word that I can find. Yes, I've got that in me. Well, the thesaurus has sense, common sense, good sense, horse sense, judgment, wisdom. It's not quite what I'm looking for. I like the Cambridge Dictionary online better. The ability to decide what is the best thing to do in a particular situation and to do it with energy and determination. So this week, I may not have much in the way of energy, but I do think I can find inside determination. I've always been good at that. So that's my plan. That's what I'm going to hang on to. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you on the next review.
There are so many choices and you don't want to stress. You want your health food at home, receiving only the best. That's what we're here for. We give honest reviews. parristx.